John Farrell here, hosting Shining a Light on Shadows, and I thought I'd get out and walk about town today, just to wrap up beliefs and values. And I think, I've talked a bit about shadows, the shadow parts of our belief and values. But beliefs and values are something that we're not born with, we acquire. So what are they? Beliefs are those things that, I wanted to say, foisted upon us from our environment, what we believe to be true, whether it's true or not. And values are things that we value, ethics, morals, those sort of things. Pride can be one as well. It's not all positive things, beliefs and values. I think what I wanted to touch on today was towards and away from values. Now these are things that are covered in a whole module in the Elite Mentorship Forum. And so I only want to touch on them briefly today, but our beliefs, our values, someone we want to get away from, someone we want to drive towards. Viktor Frankl's line. Viktor Frankl's line, our drives push us, but our values pull us. Our values are an important part of our day-to-day lives. And most of this is going unconsciously, the decisions we make, the things that we talk about. It's all happening unconsciously, based around what we unconsciously believe in, what we unconsciously value. This is where our shadows come in, of course, because our shadows are all unconscious. Things that we've suppressed, we've denied, we don't remember consciously. They're just sort of sitting below the surface, if you like, and that's why meditation, guided meditation, journaling is so effective working with these shadows, because they can, just that simple acknowledgement of them helps us to integrate them. What we really want to do is just to be seen and heard. So away from and towards values. Values, some of them we want to get away from, some of them we want to drive towards. The ones that are going to help us have a more empowering, fulfilling life are those things that we're driving towards values. Unfortunately, when we're unconscious, when we're just doing what we normally do, then we tend to run away from values, things that we don't want. It's a bit like a scarcity mentality. Always trying to, I'm just being distracted over here by this squirrel, I can't change directions, sitting watching me. So, away from values, things that we don't want. Things that will do anything to keep away from. So, money, I need lots of money, I don't want to be poor. I don't want to be poor is the away from value. I don't want to be like my parents struggled. Towards value is that I am abundant. I have value. These are positive values. They're things that are going to help us have a better life, but they're unfortunately things that we don't usually have unconsciously put in place. Away from values are the things that we tend to pick up from our environment, from our peers, from our family. I don't want to be poor like my parents. I don't want to struggle. I don't want to feel the pain. These are things that we get more feeling from. I think that's the important one. When you do the Elite Mentorship Forum, one of the early modules that we do is on mastering emotions, and everything comes down to emotions. Whatever it is, once you sit with it, it's an emotion. These away from values, the things that we don't want, have stronger emotions. And this is the challenge. And one of the things I found really powerful when I actually did this course, the Elite Mentorship Forum, was actually realizing those emotions, how more powerful the away from ones were, the ones that we don't want. They're not empowering, they're just drivers. So putting powerful values in place, towards values in place, has to have an emotional set. There has to be an emotional base to it. So when we sit down with a piece of paper, well, this is valuable, worthwhile, sitting down with a piece of paper, writing out what I value and what I don't value, so that I can remove those, or not eliminate, but be aware of when they come up. So sitting there with a piece of paper, while it has an effect on one level, it's still, I could say, superficial, I suppose. A little bit like shadows. We don't know they're there, but they come up. We can sit with them for a little while. With values, again, we need to sit with them. And one of the most effective trainings, exercises I did with these with my buddy. So on the Elite Mentorship Forum, as you're going through the 6-month course, you're teamed up with somebody. And that is a part of the whole curriculum, is actually having the broader learning knowledge, but then also having a buddy so that you can learn, compare notes. And it's another really powerful way of learning. We have different ways that we learn, some more predominant than others, but working with a buddy allowed me to explore, create a hierarchical level, so explore the power, the strengths that these different values have in place. And what we usually find is we write a list of these out, a list of values that don't really support us, and we write out a list of values and beliefs that do support us. And when they support us, then it's exploring the emotional impact of them, recognizing that some of these things really are going to help us. But if we don't have an emotional impact, they don't have an emotional impact. If we don't put an emotional impact into it, it's not really going to have that much effect. And you're going to struggle to do this by yourself, because your ego isn't going to allow you to go to those painful places, those real values. Those real values that are painful, we need to recognize, integrate, and perhaps eliminate. Those beliefs that don't help me, and put in place emotional beliefs. And this needs to be held accountable, I suppose. You need to be held accountable to make sure that in putting these beliefs in place, the emotions are really there, so they're strong. So there's a real art, a real course. And then, as I said, the Elite Mentorship Forum, this is a whole module on developing, becoming aware of our values, our beliefs, the ones that aren't helping us, the ones that we need to put in place. And what's fascinating with the shadow work coming into this is recognizing where they came from, because we're not born with these beliefs and values. And recognizing those shadows of those beliefs and values that don't support us actually helps to integrate them and let them go. It's really all about learning how to let go. I want to do another module at some time on letting go, because we can talk about it consciously, like we can talk about our shadows consciously, but really it's at the unconscious level, it's at that deeper level, at that metaphorical, that symbolic levels, that we really find out what's driving us. So I hope this has been helpful this last couple of weeks on beliefs and values, our shadows, the shadows of our beliefs and values. And look forward to, not quite sure what we're going on to next. It's 14 modules, so we'll start to go on to developing a new future. You know, really, who do I want to be? And what is holding me back? Why? A question I asked a long time ago, why do we do what we do? But also, why do I never find out what I really want to do? The 𝗵𝗶𝗶 here. So yes, beliefs and values, those that aren't helping us, away from values, the ones we want to get away from, that are usually stronger. They keep more of our focus. We become more aware of the things that we don't want on a conscious level. They're how we're running our whole life. Anyway, it's been helpful. Talk to you soon. Out for now.
John Farrell here, your host on Shining Light on Shadows. If you like what you're seeing, leave a comment down below, like it, then subscribe so that you can catch up on any further podcasts I do. If you'd like any more information, there's articles that I write there. Just follow the QR codes. If you'd like to have a chat to me or find a little bit more out about the courses that I'm doing, there's also a link, a QR code that's come up before. That's it for beliefs and shadows, beliefs and values. So next week I'll be introducing some guest stars on, some guests on, so that we can shine light on shadows and the different ways that people see their shadows, people use their shadows. It's a fascinating subject with so many different angles. I hope this is interesting. I look forward to seeing you on here, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.